Max Crosby just went live. What's going on?
Huh? Max Crosby?
Max Crosby's he's live smoking a cigar in the locker room right now.
That's hilarious. Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live, favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite is everything. We are back. Guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at @DMarchJohnNFL for me, at MHolder95 for Matt, and of course Panda Subs discount code TDL for 35% off. So yeah, today, we're chilling here. It's Christmas, so me and Matt, I'm on the cell phone. And Matt's chilling over there, you know what I mean? So, but
Yeah,
we beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead, man, with the defensive performance. It was looked like some 80s Raiders team, with Mark Wilson out there. That's what it looked like. It looked like we had Mark Wilson, and that's the kind of game that looked like.
I mean, defense outscores the offense, but
what's up? It's just that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like like it was 1985 with Mark Wilson, and you just have the Raiders defense and Howie Long take it over the game, and Mark Wilson gets that W. So that's what the game is, man.
But who's Howie Long? Is Howie Long Max Crosby or
Howie Long's Max Crosby,
Malcolm Kuntz?
Yeah, right, now, who's Kuntz?
What makes would Kuntz be Townsend? Is that where we're going?
I guess so, man. That's what it looked like, man.
What makes Max Crosby more like Howie Long and Kuntz more like Greg Townsend?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess
you know what it is. Max just a little bit more of a gym rat, first in last out type of guy.
Exactly.
More national talent.
More of a hustle guy. Exactly. That's why it fits there. But the defense showed out though. So I mean, that was a great defensive performance. I mean, Patrick Graham. We were talking about let's see what Patrick Graham has against a really good defense. They haven't stopped a really good quarterback, because that's not a good offense. Yeah. It's a really good quarterback, right? But the last time they played these guys, the Chiefs had the best game they've had in a while. So it was important for them to kind of come out and really have a really good game. And they showed out. The two different defense touchdowns were definitely the difference in this game. Jack Jones continues to be a baller. That dude is a tape watcher, obviously, and he just knew everything they were doing. Even the broke up screen he had, and that was just an amazing transition when he made that pick, man. Because he was inside, he was inside turn, and he just picked that ball off with ease. And they just weren't good on offense, and they really showed out. And they really solidified themselves as a pretty great defense at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Patrick Graham, this was a huge game for him. I think we talked about it going in. Andy Reid, the Chiefs kind of had his number in the last few years, and that was a hell of a show, man. He netted 0 points. We'll take that. 2 defensive touchdowns. I don't think anybody had on the Raiders bingo card for them having back-to-back games with a Jack Jones pick 6 and a defensive tackle, touchdown to be the difference makers. But hell, defense. I mean, stepped up, like you said, nailed it. And the thing I liked about it too is they just showed so much growth in the last game. Those Patrick Mahomes scrambles where they just let him get the the little 4 or 5 yard runs that they instead of coming downhill and biting on those when he presses the line. And that to me was the biggest difference in the game, is the scramble drills. They actually defended well for the first time really all year, and especially against the Chiefs, because that's how we know Mahomes has killed them in the past. And hell of a performance, man. Not much to be bad about defensively. And Malcolm Kuntz, it's funny. Someone asked me earlier this week in mailbag, if he deserves a contract extension. I was a little hesitant, but give the man a blank check, man. If you're Mark Davis, you just hand him over your checkbook and you say how much,
yeah.
Extend that guy. He had a hell of a game. He made a nice play against the run too. Nice job of setting the edge. We talked about what was it last week in the review too, and starting to show it up and starting to put it all together. So it was really, really fun to watch. I don't know if Wanya Morris blocked him one single time, because he had probably 4 or 5 pressures on his own and kicked that rookie's ass.
Man, he kicked his ass, bro. And that's the thing, is that he's getting so much better. Every single week he's on the field more often. His bend is crazy right now. I think that's 7 sacks in the last 7 games. He's basically just he was getting pressure early on in the season. That's what happens. You get a lot of pressure. Yeah. Eventually they turn into sacks, and that's what we're seeing. He's finishing. I mean, there's a couple times he didn't even finish, like the Mahomes touchdown. I mean, he got in there super quick and just couldn't get his hand on Mahomes. So,
Yeah.
I wonder how many pressures he got overall when she watched this game. But yeah, it was the D line is really dominating right now. I mean, Adam Butler had a pretty good
Yeah.
game too. They're getting some blitzing, and the linebackers are playing a little bit better. And I thought the secondary really had a good game too. I thought they were pretty strong out there. So, but the pass rush is what's making this team right now.
Yeah. I mean, the defensive line, they kicked like you talking about it, the Chiefs line, not very good this year, not playing well. And I mean, against the run too, I thought the defensive line just kicked their ass and really kind of took over the game and never let the Chiefs get going. I mean, like you said, the defensive backs I thought played pretty well. Jack Jones continues to look like a starter. Did Faison get the start and then Jones came in later? I can't quite remember, but I remember.
Sure, man. I mean, I'm not sure, but I didn't really see Faison
Yeah,
out there. Was he out there a lot? I didn't even see him out there.
he was in the beginning because they showed him like once, and like there was like he might have gotten like a penalty, and then it was pretty much just Jack Jones the rest of the way. And I mean, again, all 22 will show us all, but like he had, from what we can see, like he had another really good game. I mean, obviously when you have a pick six and troll Mahomes on the way in, you know, gonna give you flowers, and he's earning more playing time for moving forward. So that's gonna be a lot of fun to watch because he's looking like an absolute steal right now. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Jack Jones is playing well, man. That's a guy that you really are happy about because he's a young guy too, man. Second year guy. He's gonna be, he's gonna keep getting better. And I mean, he looks like he watches film. Obviously, I tell you, he be
yeah,
like even the screen pass where he broke on Kelsey, and Kelsey
hmm
dropped it, I believe. Man, that was him reading it, making a big play. Man, he is definitely taking it to the next level. And I see somebody in the comment talk about he backed it up. Yeah, he did. I was happy that
yeah,
I'm happy that he backed it up. You gonna talk like that, you better get a pick six. So that's
yeah.
what's up. I really did like that.
Yeah. I mean, like you nailed it. Like you said, when we were talking about it and seeing that quote like earlier in the week, I'm like, I don't know, bud. You're not quite at that level yet, but he proved it. Backed it up with his play. Got into it a little bit with Rasheed Rice and backed that up. I was a little worried that might spiral out of control after that, and he played lockdown the rest of the game. Like he really, Raiders really look like they got a steal with him. I'm excited to see what he can do. As long as he can, keep his head on straight. He looks like a future stud for him right now. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Jack Jones. Another good game, stacking these up against each other. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Trayvon Moore played pretty well too, man. I mean, the
yep,
defense just showed out, man. They really showed out. I mean, they've been showing out for the past 3 weeks. So I mean, they've been playing well. I mean, they are ready to go beat the Colts and the Broncos. But we'll talk about the other side of the ball now. I guess at this point, I mean, the offense. I mean, Zamir White had a great game. I mean, let's
he
talk about
did.
that
Yeah.
first. Let's get positive before we.
stay on the
So,
stay on the
so
high.
Zamir White, he played really well. I thought that he had great vision, which a lot of things he didn't see in college. He was doing this game. He was breaking some tackles. I thought he was really patient. He was hitting the right hole. He's very decisive, right? And he's always going forward. That's what I really liked about. He's playing behind his pads, and that's what you like. I mean, he's that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a power back.
Yeah,
He's supposed to come in there, play a lot of power, and show that. And you saw that. You saw him, run the ball really well. And at
yeah,
the end of the game, and when the teams wore out, he came and he closed it. So I think that was a
yeah.
huge game for him.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the play he broke off that 43-yard run that ended up sealing the game for him was off of power, and I mean, that was easily the best game. He had what? He finished with 145, 6.6 a carry. Like that's not the Zamir that we'd been seeing previously. Like I feel like we almost like wrote him off a little bit too soon, and he's looking like he could be the back moving forward. I mean, Josh Jacobs the last two games missed opportunities for him a little bit, and I think at this point right now, with the way the pendulum's swinging, like you got to roll with Samir, and maybe you can feel a little bit more comfortable about moving on from Jacobs and not paying him. So, a hell of
Yeah,
a game from Zamir.
yeah, especially if Jacobs is not healthy next week, and even if he is, I mean, you got to give Zamir White more carries at this point. I think he's earned it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think even last game he played pretty well. He didn't play bad. He was catching the ball pretty well against Chargers, and then this week we saw him run the ball really well. So I think that's a big step for him and a lot of confidence for what he really wants to do going forward. And then you're right. I mean, now you could think about can we move on from Josh Jacobs? Do we have a back that we could trust? Even Zamir Abdullah, that was a big third down run he had on one drive. And you can mix it up with
Yeah, that's
him,
true.
and or bring in somebody else that can complement Zamir White. So there's a lot of things there. So, but I mean, the passing game was awful. I mean, it started off really well. I mean, Ado Call started off 9 for 11, but I believe he finished like 9 for 21. So he had like 11 straight incompletions, and it was just ugly. And they were getting beat up front a lot. And I think that when he was getting his ass kicked early, it just kept weighing on him, right? He used to kept rushing the
Yeah.
football. I think he was dependent on Adams to win a little too much too, in my opinion. I think Snead was kind of just dominating him a little bit on third down, and he should have been looking at other places. I think Tony Romo pointed out at one time that he went to Adams. I mean, he still should hit Adams on the throw, but Jacoby Myers is open, and then if he made a good throw, they dropped it. So I mean, that was kind of like the whole game there. But I mean, with Aiden, it feels like if teams do get a lot of pressure on him, right,
Yeah.
early on, and he's getting beat up, he's going to try to start rushing the football, and then his accuracy goes away, and then all those type of things. So yeah, when you think about these and you're evaluating him going forward, you're like, okay, can we really win with this guy going forward? But I mean, he didn't turn the ball over, right? I mean, that's what that's what Tony Romo was really getting at, because the game manager type of thing, and I get it and I understand that, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna need more to kind of beat these other teams going forward. Like, the offense can't play like this. They gotta have more from the passing game. They gotta throw to other people. I think Michael Mayer missing this game was very
Yeah, that
noticeable,
hurt.
really noticeable. So we're getting to the point where like, can you fully play through Adams at this point? And I think they're trying to do that a little bit too much, and they got to get some of these other guys involved and trust these other guys on third down.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Aiden O'Connell, like, it's kind of like, again, he's just riding the wave. It's good game, bad game, good game, bad game, good game, bad game. There's no stability with him. And then two, like, there was one play, I think it was probably the first or second drive of the game, where like he was just almost a sit and duck, like feet stuck in the water, where Chris Jones got the sack. And it's like, that's one of the biggest issues with him. That's one thing that we've known about him. One of the most persisting issues with him, as far as your when you're evaluating him moving forward. And not exactly great showing. I remember there was one at one point CBS showed the little passing chart where he was like 1 of 10 for his last throws, and the one completion was for 1 yard. But again, I think you nailed it too. It was like, it was almost like a comedy of errors, where like anytime when he was missing, obviously it was incomplete, and then when he did hit, like, there were drops, and it was just a lot of bad stuff offensively. But yeah, Aiden O'Connell, it's like, I it's just so week to week with him. And I mean, I get it, he's a young quarterback, but at some point, if you're going to feel confident about this guy moving into the future, like, and not want to bring somebody else in, and not maybe try and go after somebody in the draft, like, you'd like to see a little bit of stability. You'd like to see him stack back-to-back games together, because right
Yeah.
now we haven't, and that's really how it is. It's frustrating, but
Yeah, because he's funny because he has 3 games of ESPN QBR where it's over 75, and like then all the other games are in the 30, and I'm sure this one's gonna be like 8, right? So he's either like he's either playing like elite football, or he's terrible. He's god awful. That's a hard,
no
like,
in
this is a
between.
big, let's get a 50 game. Can we get a 50 or a 55? You know what I mean? Let's get some more
Yeah,
55s in there, because it's hilarious. I mean, you go look at his QBR, he literally has 3 games over 75, and other games are under 30. So it's like he's so up and down. You're right. Like, it seems like one week he looks really good, and then the next week you're like, ugh. You know what I mean? So a lot of that is right. Like, sometimes you need a quarterback. It's not even a quarterback that can be mobile, right? You just need a guy who could move.
doesn't look like he has his feet stuck in quicksand. when
Somebody
Chris Jones when Chris Jones goes barreling down and doesn't stare and go, oh shit.
You
He
know what I
did
mean?
have one. I will say he did have one like play, like, in the first quarter, where
Yeah.
it was after the time he had his feet stuck, where like he made a nice move to avoid it and like made a nice throw. But yeah, more times than not, there's like, yeah, this is why you weren't that great of an athlete. This is why there's a little bit of a concern with you coming out,
Yeah.
because you can be a little bit of a statue. But
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was funny.
yeah,
The Raiders were the only team that met with him. So like, was he gonna go undrafted? That's interesting. The only team that met with him at the combine was the Raiders.
that's wild.
That is Josh McDaniels right there, man. Josh McDaniels is like, look at it, that great release.
Look at that dagger. Look at him throw that dig.
Yeah, look at him throw that dagger, right? Did you see that dagger out he threw right there? Yeah, see, that was him. That was him, because that was funny, man. But because that's what I'm saying. Because who knows? Next week it might be an 85 QBR game, and then they go beat the Colts.
Next week is going to be like 70% for 302 TDs.
Right? And that's that's how it's been. Really, that's how he's been playing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but Zamir White really closed out the game. If they weren't able to run the ball this game, I mean, who knows what happened? They wouldn't have been able to close it out. They wouldn't have been able to, they might have given the ball back to Mahomes. I mean, this was really on offense. It was a Zamir White game, and
Yeah.
if you have a pretty good defense, I mean, you could get away with that, So, but yeah, man, it was pretty good, dude. Pretty good game here. Let's get some questions here before we get too much and get back to Christmas stuff. Just chilling and enjoying the families here. But I saw some questions. I'm trying to get to. We should draft competition. I understand that.
Yep. Can't agree.
I agree, bro. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, they got to draft somebody. I see trade for Justin Fields. How do you feel about that, Matt? I mean,
I'll say this. I haven't watched that many Bears games or like really dove into that many like Bears all 22. But the one that really sticks out in my mind that I did watch was that Vikings game where I'm like, dude, there are wide open guys, and you're just not even throwing the ball that like I can't get over. I mean, when we get in the offseason, I'll probably dive in a little bit more. Maybe my opinion can change. I'm just where it stands right now to have to give up draft picks. I wouldn't want to get Justin Fields. I'd almost rather, and again, this is just right now, and I'll probably get crucified for saying this. I'd rather sign a guy like Gardner Minshew for like and not have to give up any picks than trade for Justin Fields. I don't know. What do you think? What's your opinion on Fields?
I mean, Fields is getting better, right? Fields is getting better.
Yeah.
I think he's he still has bad pocket presence to me. And I was watching the Cardinals game, him against the Cardinals yesterday, because my dad's a Cardinals fan, so I was watching it. And he just said the pocket presence he has is bad, and he's still a lot of being a runner right now. He's still that's what he does best. He doesn't throw the ball very well still. But every once in a while he just has those great throws to kind of just buy you in. And that's going to be the thing with him.
Very true.
Can he be more consistent as a quarterback? But he's exciting and he's explosive, but you just have to kind of like how well is he going to develop, right? And it's a lot of things with him with that. It's just he's going to take a lot of sacks. It's going to be a lot of annoying stuff that you're going to see with him. That's all.
Yeah. I think I saw you tweeted out. What was it like? Justin Fields is keeping the Cardinals in the game. I didn't get to watch much of it. I was traveling, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was keeping him in the game, right? And that's the kind of thing that he was doing. Like they really should have pulled away from that game, but when you get to the point where like he has to pass. It's like let's say they go down, they're down like 28 to set. You're down 27-17, and you have to pass. That's where he still is an issue. And then he starts turning the ball over, taking a lot of sacks. That's his issue.
I was gonna say I feel like he presses a little bit, like in those big situations.
Yeah, for sure. So how are we feeling about AP? I really like AP a lot. I mean, he had this team ready to go and beat the Raiders in Arrowhead. I don't know what else he really has to do. And Mark Davis has probably already hired him. He's probably gonna hire him tomorrow if he could. Is he allowed to do that?
I don't think so. I think because of the Rooney Rule, they have to bring in someone outside. But I mean, we keep talking about it, man. He's getting closer to getting to the 8. What are they, 7 and 8 right now? He's getting close to that magic number. Wins one more game, I feel like he might have the job, man. I mean, this was a big win, like to win on the road to keep the playoff hopes alive in Arrowhead, beat a team that you've typically struggled with, get his first win against a quality opponent, and get his first road win. Like, got the guys ready to play. Like that's the one thing that like was consistent with Antonio Pierce is like we've talked about it a lot. Like there are moments where you can tell he's a rookie head coach. There's a moment in the game management that he kind of falls short, and he's obviously still trying to figure out his identity. Do I want to be a guy that's aggressive? Do I want to be more conservative? We saw that the last time they played the Chiefs compared to when they played the Dolphins the week before. So I mean, but like the thing I keep coming back to is he gets the guys ready to play. Guys want to play for him. And maybe, you just kind of ride it out and hope he figures it out at one point and has a good mentor in Tom Coughlin or Herm Edwards where they can like figure out the game management and kind of coach him up on that part. So right now the pendulum's swinging up and kind of like Aiden O'Connell, it's week to week, but this is a huge win for him. This is, I think, something that can definitely bode well for him keeping the job for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. All right, let's get a couple questions to get out of here. So, hey guys, Adams was off. He kept dropping balls. I mean, to be honest, I mean, yeah, I think Adams. I've been calling this out on the channel for a little bit. He's slowing down. Snead really had him in prison today a little bit too. Yeah, man. So that's the thing. And then if Aiden O'Connell's trying to play through him on third down, it's not working. So that's what I'm saying. He's got to go through other people. Yeah, and you know, I see a question about him trading him. I mean, that's up to them. They got to figure that out, dude. All right, two more. Let's do two more. So, is Kirk Cousins gonna be a free agent next season? How about Baker Mayfield? Daniel Jones get cut? Yeah, see, it's gonna be interesting. You know, I think the Vikings bring back Kirk Cousins, and I think the Bucks bring back Baker Mayfield. I think like Justin Fields is gonna be out there. You know, I still, I mean, the Cardinals keep losing, but I think Kyler Murray is a secret one for me that you know that I would take Kyler Murray over Justin Fields any day, to be honest. So, you know, but
Oh yeah, easily. I just don't. The Cardinals, like, if you look at his contract, like, I don't know if they're
it's a
like, it's not
contract,
doesn't
right?
make a ton of sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for them to move on for him. But I think Baker, especially if they win the division, Baker's going to be back. Baker's going to be back in Tampa. They're going to bring him back. He's had a pretty good year. Kirk Cousins, for me, like, one, like you said, I would imagine the Vikings would want to bring him back.
Mm,
Even if they don't, I wouldn't be thrilled about getting a 35, 36-year-old a quarterback who's coming off a torn Achilles. Like, not exactly what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Last question. Let's thoughts on Andre James.
move on. New. Let's go.
It's done. He's done, right? He's done. Mm.
Yeah. Today is still. I mean, like you've been saying for years. Like, today, like, sealed it for me. He had a rough game. I mean,
Yeah.
they got to get someone else.
He's just not a center, bro. Like I don't understand. He's just not a damn center. Because it's interesting to me because we talk about how bad Aiden O'Connell played. He looked interesting. He looked pretty good with Dylan Parham at center, setting the protections, and then you put Andre James in, and then he looks like he did against the Vikings. It's just interesting thing to look at. You know,
Yeah.
centers are huge to quarterbacks. It is crazy to me. Like they make quarterbacks play better. I swear, a great center will help a young quarterbacks too. So
Derek Carr was better with Rodney Hudson.
yeah, exactly. All right, we're out of here, man. Yeah, appreciate you guys coming in here. You know, you having happy holidays, Merry Christmas. You know, all that good stuff. Raiders win on Christmas. Give us all a good Christmas present and beat the damn Chiefs in Arrowhead. That's what the hell I'm talking about, man. My boy is a Chiefs fan. He was mad quiet in the group chat. Didn't say a word all game. Real quiet. Hasn't said anything.
Didn't you hear him?
Yeah, he doesn't say anything. I made sure to send him the Jack Jones video though. Jack Jones stared down Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he got that video. He didn't respond to it, but it's cool. It's cool, man. I know you're there. Don't act like you with your family. I know you watched that damn game. I know you did. So, but we're out of here, guys. Peace.
Peace.